Okay, today's project is we're going to service the front amplifiers on a 93 Corvette C4. And the first step that you have to do is take out this side molding that's right here. There's two screws there and there, and this small piece comes out and you can set it aside. Then you have to take off this carpeted piece that goes over top of this body piece right here. There's two screws in this, one here and one right there. And then I had to pull up the parking brake and just kind of maneuver it up and around, and it tucks on here underneath of this molding right here. So it tucks up underneath there, and then this whole piece comes out right here, and then you can get access to the front speaker and amplifier here on the driver's side. The process is the same on the passenger side. So now what we're going to do is pull out this amp here and take it over on the bench, and it's currently not having any problems, but this is going to be preventative maintenance. I want to get off all of the circuit glue that's on the board and just see if there's any weak capacitors, and I think that's some good preventative maintenance that needs done on these. Okay, the speaker amplifier module is out. There were 4 screws in it. They were 7mm hex head, 2 on this side and 2 right here. You had to gently lift up some of the carpet area to get access to it, and originally, because I'm positive this has never been out of this car, there was like some type of almost like a butyl tape or something that they used to, I guess, maybe reduce vibration or something on this top side, and a lot of this tape was more or less just falling apart at this point. But that was on the top side, and obviously you had to unplug the wiring harness, which requires gently putting a flathead underneath this tab, gently prying up on it while pulling out the connector. So we'll take this over on the bench and pull the actual board out of the amp unit here. Okay, with this whole assembly flipped on its back side, it looks like the amp module comes out right here. There's 4 screws here right on the end. There again, they are 7mm, same as the other ones were. And you flip it up here gently. You have the boards right here, and have to disconnect the connector right here in order to pull this board out. Okay, removing the plug on the board takes the board out here, and now we have to take it off of this housing here, which looks to be, again, these screws in each corner here. These are regular Phillips screws. We'll take those off. That'll pull the board off of this housing, and then we will have to take the shield off, which will probably be the same as my last video. Yes, it has a tab on the front and the back, which you just pry up. So I'll go ahead and do that and get access to the board. Okay, as you see, I've got the board out now, and like all of these, there's a bunch of circuit glue around here, and the circuit glue is around these capacitors, and it's definitely around these MOSFETs, which is a real problem right there. And it's around that MOSFET right there. It's around this MOSFET. It looks like the ICs themselves, I don't see any circuit glue around them. So that's a good thing. I mean, some of these seem to have more on than others, but like I said, I want to get as much of this off as I can. So we'll start with that first. That sometimes takes a while. I'm going to try a new method this time. I'm going to try just using a hot air gun and possibly some freeze spray to kind of shock it and see if the combination of the two will get this to release. I'm going to try that before I do the alcohol this time. because the alcohol process is pretty slow. So just going to try something different. Okay, about an hour later, using pretty much just hot air with one of these just regular hot air guns and working very carefully, I did get all of the circuit glue off. As you see, there's nothing left on it now. This did work better than using the alcohol. It seemed to release slightly better and not quite as sticky. So that was an improvement. I'll still look for better ways to get it off, but an hour in hot air isn't too bad. And here's the stack of all of it that was on this board. So now I'm going to go ahead and see what, if anything, needs changed on here. I might just recap this. I'm not sure. I'll probably leave the tantalum alone. I don't think that one needs to be replaced, but I'll probably definitely replace these 4 because they seem to always be bad or weak on these boards. And I might go ahead and replace the 2 bigger ones. They're almost guaranteed that they'll last as long as anything I put in there, but I might replace them anyway, and I'll replace the 247s probably. But let me see what's weak on here first, and I'll let you know. Okay, I went ahead and tested all the capacitors. The only ones that are bad, they're not totally bad, but they're going bad, are these 4 in a row. That seems to be the ones that are always problematic here. And yeah, I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with these other ones because I didn't change them on the other boards because I think they'll probably last indefinitely. Excellent, excellent. These 2, excellent. This little one is testing fine too, but I might replace it just as preventative maintenance because, like I said in the last video, 1 microfarad seemed to often go high ESR after a while. So I'm not sure about that. I'll probably replace that. So right now I'm looking at these 4 for sure, and probably this one is preventative maintenance, and I'll probably end up leaving these 4. But let me go ahead and do the other ones that I know I want to change, and then I'll go from there. Okay, I went ahead and replaced the 5 capacitors that I said, the 1 microfarad, 10 microfarad, 10 microfarad, 4.7, and 10. The other ones were all good. I didn't feel there was any reason to do it, and almost 100% of the circuit glue is off, at least as much as you're humanly going to get off of this. It looks good now. So we're going to go ahead and reinstall this, and okay, the board's ready to be reinstalled into the speaker housing unit. I went ahead and put some hot glue in order to keep these coils nice and stable here, and put a little row across the new capacitors to keep them stabilized one to another there. And the board's nice and clean. All of the flux has been removed on both sides, so it's nice and clean and ready for reinstallation.
Worship now. 88.7 FM and WPKV 98.3 HD2, Duquesne, Pittsburgh.
Worship when you need it.
That would be every day.
Air One.
Fears got me living with the lights out.